going on, guys? So filming a deck profile for Elemental Heroes. Got my friend Omi here doing the deck profile. So yeah, Omi, how come you're playing Heroes, or how come you're deciding to build Heroes once again?
So the reason I'm going back to Heroes is because people aren't playing Nibiru as much. So
yeah, just like the playmat though.
yeah, just like the playmat. So they weren't playing Nibiru as much. Yeah. So I thought, you know what, this might be a good time for me to pick up Heroes. Nice. And another thing is, even if they do try to stop me with hand traps and whatnot, you can literally just plow through their boards.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stars in the deck, right?
There's a lot of stars, a lot of extenders.
So yeah, let's start with the monsters then.
Okay, so for the monsters, so I'm playing 3 copies of Strauss.
Yeah.
A lot of builds you'll see they play either 2.
Yeah.
But I think 3 is the correct number because you want to see him. You want to see him in your hand. I mean, even though Hero lives is at 3, you know, you play equal as well, but you want to see him. He's your he's your bread and butter of the deck. So you have to play him at 3.
Every deck has that bread and butter card, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Next, we are playing the 2 Shadow Mist. At 1, you don't really see it as much. At 3, it becomes a bit too cloggy. So I think at 2, it's perfect.
Okay.
And he's also good with Hero Lives because you can special him and then search the mass change, and that's actually really good against Tearlaments, the one-offs. We play the 1 Solid Soldier.
Yeah.
You do play App Zero in your deck, and you also play the Acid. Pretty much have to play him. And another card that I've decided to add back into the deck was the Solid Soldier. He's normally there for your follow-up plays. In a scenario where you do get named and he's in your hand, you have a normal summon. You can literally summon him, summon another hero, and you can just extend from there.
Nice.
And then that sets up pretty much your plasma plays.
What's the reason why you took it out in the first place though? Because you don't see it in many builds. A lot of people swear to never use it.
The main reason I took him out before, but is because hand traps was quite heavy back then.
Yep.
And you would always get ashed or impermed, so he wasn't that great. And I would always play him wrong. I would always summon him. He would always be my first summon.
I see.
Rather than Stratos being my first summon or anything else. So and another card I've decided to play again is the Honest Neos.
The main man himself.
It's basically for the OTK.
Cool. And to protect the heroes, I guess, right?
Yeah.
In scenarios where they try to battle them out. Yeah.
So we are playing the 3 Faris.
Nice.
So it's self-explanatory. I mean, you have to play him at 3. He's an amazing extender. One of your best plays is you summon him pitching Shadow Mist search. He sets the increase. The Vision Hero Vion.
Okay.
He was what you call your second best normal summon. Some people will say he's the best normal summon because he sends a hero from deck to grave. But I see him more or less as a second best normal summon in the deck. He's also there to search the polymerization.
Which is really important, right? To get your Sunriser combo going.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Most of the time, I don't even make the Sunriser combo. I just use this to make the DPE. I just go straight into the DPE combo.
Forgot about that guy for a minute.
I play 2 increase.
Okay.
Because I play at... so he's like your Garnet of the deck.
Right.
So you don't want to see him in your hand. Thing is, if you see him in your hand, the Faris play, it becomes pretty much dead.
It's dead, right? And it's a really important part because you get bodies on board as well. So makes sense.
So I decided to just keep him at 2, and even if I draw the 1, it's fine because you can just use it to link Fuse away or even link someone away. We are playing 2 Malicious.
Damn, that looks nice, man. I like the old school colours of like these cards.
Yeah, it's really nice. Honorary 3rd Malicious, which is the Denial.
It's good that they printed this card. He's like the savior of the Destiny package.
And then another Destiny hero I am playing is I'm still playing the Celestial.
Yeah.
So he's not good for turn 1, but he's very good for turn 2 or like mid game or late game scenario, because you can use his effect to banish himself and any Destiny hero, and he gives you a draw 2. The last one, the
main man himself.
Plasma.
This is the real CEO.
Yeah.
Right there.
He's won me a lot of games, so
not surprised.
I mean, again, there are a few other hero builds I've seen where they don't play him at all, but I really think you should play him. He's just really good. He's a skill drain. He's a floodgate. So
does everything in it.
It does pretty much everything. Yeah. I mean, it's really good against decks like Runic, Sky Strikers.
Oh yeah, I just realized that. Oh wow,
it's really good against those decks.
Yeah.
But again, on a local level, you're not likely to see those decks. So it hurts you in the long run, if that makes sense. Okay, so for the spells, a lot of people do not play this, but I play it because I like consistency. So I play not 1, not 2, but I play 3 emergency core. And I also play the 1 reinforcements of the army. You're never really bricking. Even if you don't open the monsters, you'll open up with these, and then you can just search off combo. The triple hero lives.
I need to get a close up of this.
Most of the time what would happen is you'd use this and you get Ash. I'm like, and it's like, it's not the correct play. Well, there are other stuff. You need to Ash the choke points of hero. If you know which one it is, then you know, but I'm not going to say it.
You're not going to say it? Damn. I was just about to squeeze that out, but fair enough.
I mean, I'll probably explain it after the video.
Sure.
But now, so 3 hero lives. We are playing the 3 mass change.
I hate this card. It dodges all the imperms and the
Veilers. It does.
But you got to love it.
And it's especially good now because of Tearlaments, because what you normally do is, like, let's say they activate Shirin in hand, you chain mass change, and then they send, and then everything gets banished.
That's really strong, man.
Yeah, we are playing the 3 Fusion Destiny. So
is that ultimate rare?
This with Hero Lives, you pretty much win the game. If you open these 2, you've pretty much won the game. So you can do some really nice plays with it. Even if you brick, let's say you have this in your hand. You can actually send a Shadow Mist to bring out Dangerous as well. And then Shadow Mist will search, and then you can just So it's not really a hero card, but it might as well be a hero card. We do play the 3 super polymerizations.
Yeah. So I mean, in your style of deck, this card does everything, and like literally everything, because all the heroes act as attributes, and the fusions need attributes, so you can cover everything in the game, essentially.
One thing I like about this card is because I am playing the Solid Soldier. So what happens is, if you're going second, you activate Solid Soldier, and let's say they have something to negate. So let's say they negate it when Solid Soldier stays on field. You can literally just chain the super polymerization. You can use Solid Soldier, and let's say if they're playing a Sprite or Tearlament, you can fuse this away and one of the Dark Monsters away. And then you can make your Escorido. Because he was sent to the graveyard by a spell effect for a fusion summon, you can literally trigger him and summon a hero from your graveyard. You can play 3, but I decided to only play 2 because the card can become a bit cloggy. And that is Triple Tactics Talent. Let's say you get Ashed or you get DD Crowed or whatever. You can literally use this, and it gives you an additional 2 draws. Even if you get drawed, you can look at their hand and you can and shuffle the card away from there. I have done this to a player once, and it felt really good. And then this card is a hard once per turn, so that's why I'm only playing 2 copies of this. Next one-offs we play is the 1 Miracle Fusion.
Ultimate Rare, of course.
The 1
Rarity Addicts. This looks nice though.
And then I play the 1 the 1 Polymerization. And the last card is the 1 Called by the Grave. A lot of decks don't play it, but I think it helps in a lot of scenarios, especially against Tearlaments. So let's say you're doing your plays, they activate Have this mills 3, let's say they mill a Tearlament. You have this in your hand, banish the card that they're activating from grave, and then you can just go off. Or it hits hand traps like Ash, Drove, Veiler. D-Shifter as well.
That shuts your deck down,
it does. It's funny because I play Dark Law and then they have D-Shifter, which, you know. But
So I guess one question before we move on. I noticed you're not playing any of the new Power of the Element cards. Like, maybe they're in the extra deck, but I don't see Instant Contact, the new Neos card. So
the reason I don't play those cards is because they're more focused on the new spacing archetype.
Fair enough.
I am looking forward to the new EN Shuffle that's coming out. Because I feel like that card will work really well with Hero Lives.
We'll move on to the extra deck now. From an outsider's view, very debatable in terms of what you run. Like, it's very flexible, which is the fun part, because obviously you show what style of hero player you are, isn't it? So we are playing 2 of this. Again, I see a lot of decks play 1. I kind of understand why you play 1, but in the long run, in a grindy game, you need the second one. You can just use him to summon back your DPE, not Celestial, your Dystopia. Or you can, so you can literally summon those 2 back, and then you can just still, like, do some damage with those. Nice.
And then the other, probably one of my favorite Link monsters is the Wonder Driver. Yeah, he can even reset the Super Poly.
That's disgusting.
So if you summon a hero underneath him,
that should be illegal, man.
yeah, I have done that a few times, and it felt good. So that's it for the Link monsters. So we are playing the one dangerous. Let's say there were times where I would pitch Shadow Mist and maybe a Mali, and then Shadow Mist will search, and then that will give me cards like either Stratos or Faris, and then I can just go off from there. The one Dystopia, again, he's really good for the burn damage. Because of Sunrise's effect, it gives him a boost in attack. Yeah. And then he's able to be a second DPE on my field.
Wow, that's pretty cool actually.
Yeah, because they had Shizuku out, his attack decreased, and because his attack was different to his original, I was able to pop a card on the field.
Yeah, my days.
So
nice.
I really like him for that.
I love to see it.
Finally, the DPE.
So I guess the question I want to ask, why play DPE in a Tearlament dominant format where on his text it basically says trigger a Tearlament effect?
So against Tearlaments, what you normally do is you wouldn't use his effect to tribute.
Interesting.
Because when they have their cards out on the field, because his other effect is the opponent's monsters lose his attack depending on how many heroes you have in your graveyard.
So what it sounds like is you're using DPE Sunriser as
a beatdown.
It's almost like you turn the deck into a bit of a beatdown aggressive style instead of like a control-y style.
Yeah.
And I guess with the triple tactics, it helps go second. And if you're trying to go second and do beatdown, this is actually pretty nice stuff. So interesting. Okay.
The first Mars Hero we play is Mars Hero Blast. You summon Stratos and then they Imperm or Veiler, and then you have Mars Change.
Okay.
So you use Mars Change to send it away to bring up Mars Change Blast. Stratos will still resolve and then it will still combo off.
Stratos is really important for heroes, and you literally put a card in the extra just so you can dodge stuff. Yeah.
The other Mars Hero I play is Acid. If you're playing Ab-Zero, you pretty much have to play him, and plus he's really good against like back row heavy decks. The main Mars Hero the targets. The two Darklaw.
Yeah. How often does Darklaw, once he's summoned, just outright win that game? What's the win rate of this card?
So it really depends on the deck. With sprites, unless they have something like Smashers, then they can out this. But again, you normally would end on him and then you potentially end on another card, like let's say DPE.
I guess in a way it makes DPE even stronger, right? Like it gives him more value.
Yeah, it does.
So having them both in the field is actually really like synergistic, I guess.
Yeah, we'll go on the Elemental Heroes fusions.
Yeah.
We are playing the one Ab-Zero. The card is amazing. I use Mars Change. Send him away, and I brought out the Acid.
Yeah.
And it was just a board wipe on the opponent's side. So everything got banished and I was just able to OTK. Most of the time you are locked into dark heroes, and he's also a good super poly target against decks like Tearlaments. So what would happen is I would summon Solid Soldier if they would negate it with, let's say, Dragon's Tupelia. I'd use Super Poly, use the Solid Soldier and the Dragon's Tupelia to bring him out. Solid Soldier will then use his effect to bring out another hero from the graveyard. He's really good. I mean, I like him the fact that you can use any heroes of any of two different types to bring them out.
He does it all, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's standard. You pretty much have to play him.
Nice.
And also he searches your Mineral Profusion. And then the Super Poly target, I do play the Garura.
Yep.
Thank God. He's just there to take out your opponent's board and then just sit on him in defense.
Yeah.
And then the other one I'm still playing is the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon.
Okay, that's interesting. He's there for Super Poly.
Yeah, he's just there for Super Poly.
So that's been the deck profile for heroes. You know, this is Omi's build, and I've played against him a lot. I can definitely confirm that it's really scary to go up against. You know, you got the Mars Change tactics, you got the actual triple tactics, you got Super Poly, and obviously you have DP, which is insane. He's got the Starlight DP too. I'm pretty sure that makes him stronger. So yeah, if you have any like final thoughts about the deck,
it's just something that I enjoy playing. Yeah, I've always played heroes. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, do you think hero is a good matchup into this meta right now?
There are a lot of decks like Runic, even Labyrinth can. You go up against Labyrinth or Runic, it's like you can't really do much against those decks.
Yep.
Even Tearlaments, they can just play around the Darklaw. Sprites, I mean, again, at the end of the day, it really depends on the players you go up against.
Maybe right now, Hero is the deck that is probably not in the spotlight for the reasons you suggested. Maybe might make a comeback in the next format or the next pack opening with new cards coming out. I know you talked about Ian Shuffle, so
I hope so, because there is another card called Wake Up Your Hero.
yeah, that card is amazing.
So hopefully when that
that's true.
comes, Heroes might do something then. But right now I don't really see it doing as much. But if you want to pick up a deck, I'll suggest pick up Heroes. Everything is pretty much cheap.
Yeah.
The deck is you can buy the whole thing like for a very cheap price. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So thanks for the deck profile. I think we'll tune out now, and guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one.
Yeah.
Peace.